have you here, a colleague of Crispin, and your background and experience I'm really excited to explore for the purpose of the innovation and the disruptive technologies that you have that's able to really change some radical things that's an issue in our society today. So let's get back into this introduction of yourself, Glenn Longacre. You said you're from Canada, and I asked you originally if you were from here. You said, no, you're from Canada, and you gave me a really cool journey of your musical academic.
Yeah, I was very much immersed in music right from the age of 5 years old. I have two younger sisters, and all three of us were put through a very intense music program in Canada. It was the Royal Conservatoire of Music out of Toronto had a nationwide program, and it was graded grade 1 through grade 12, and then a degree program at the end of it. Along with that, they also taught us theory, and they taught us harmony, history, counterpoint, form, and analysis every week with our music lesson as well. And so by the time we got out of high school, you know, I was very, very in the middle of everything and understanding form and really understanding the composition of music, that's for sure.
Were you drawn to music naturally, or was it just like a proxy that your whole family just put you in music?
You know, this piano popped up in our house when I was 4, and I started pounding on it. I not really know why, but I'd say, "Hey, Mom, listen to this thunder," and I'd kind of play around. "Hey, Mom, listen to this lightning up here," you know. And I said, "Create moods," and I didn't know what I was doing. I just said, "Hey, listen to this. It's a mood," you know. And there happened to be a music teacher that lived 2 doors over from us, and my mother said, "I think you need to take lessons," and that kind of started it. Unfortunately, she was so close. She would open up her window and listen to me practice every day. And then so when my lesson time came around at the end of the week, she'd say, "Well, Tuesday you made these mistakes, and Wednesday you did this wrong, and Thursday you should have done that." Talk about pressure. It was crazy, you know. So
and your sisters also just had an affinity for music? Everybody just had
you know, it came from my father pretty much. We all had perfect pitch. My youngest sister being the most acute of that perfect pitch. She could tell literally 2 cents off. I hated her for that.
So you guys were also competitive?
Oh, very much. We were always in competitions. So right from grade 1, competitions in the Kiwanis music festivals, and it was actually great. It was a lot of fun, and so that got me through my first part of my life. And then I got to college, and I thought I was going to be a concert pianist. I was really focused on that. I was going into competition in England and in Poland, and of course in Canada. And so I won quite a few of those before I got to college. And when I got to college, I started thinking, you know, this is going to be a tough road. I really like writing too. And I discovered my love for composition through my girlfriend at the time. She was trying to get to be Miss Indiana. I was actually at Indiana University at the time, and she said, "Oh, I need an orchestration. I've got a 24-piece band that's going to accompany me for my talent, and I got 2 other girls here that want the same thing. Can you write it?" And we only got $2,500 a piece. So, well, the light went on. I went, "Oh, I can make money at this." So that started kind of a morph into what I'm doing now, because I would not be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't go to Indiana.
Interesting.
So it really came out of that, and because they had the best composition teachers, they had jazz teachers, they had classical teachers, they had pop teachers, everything. And then of course this experience I had with orchestration, that started it.
Yeah. So you and Crispin kind of had a natural brotherhood, a fraternity, being pianist and having this love of the ivory. Keyboard.
Oh yeah, we both are. We both love our pianos. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Gotta have gear, you know. Gotta have gear.
Yeah, I had asked before. You guys met because of music, because of performance. Share a little bit of that.
That's right. We met about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe about 8 years ago. I was singing. We were working together. He was writing music and arranging things for this group and playing piano for it. And yeah,
it was a concert. It was a concert that you were.
Well, it was an ongoing ensemble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've actually been working together now for a number of years in that capacity, but we've also started working together in the same recording studio as well.
Right.
I invited Glenn to be part of this, and I'm very happy because of that, because he brings amazing expertise, technology to our studio. And first with the audio, he's just an expert with Pro Tools. He's worked with Logic Pro. He is so knowledgeable about all the different aspects of the technology that are required to run a recording studio, to have your Pro Tools up and running, to have the external hardware all in sync with each other, to and then to be able to arrange music for people who are in need of arrangement of their songs. And so
there's different, there's different expertise in audio. There's people that are just mixers, people that are just audio engineers. Our job, that's why I love Crispin so much, is that we produce music. We actually start from scratch, create a track, then we go into recording, whether there's voiceover or instrumentalists. Then we go into mixing. Then we go into mastering, and then marry that with what we love, right to video, and that's the next extension.
Music really is the mood, the emotion, the energy behind, or sometimes even in front of the video process. What people are seeing and what they're experiencing is embellished so heavily with music. How something may be, broadly exciting or agitated, and you might want to bring a certain kind of energy in that is counter to that, or that embellishes it. Something that really brings agitation to the listener.
It all depends on the emotion that you see on the screen and how you're going to portray that, or enhance it, or give it calm in the background. It depends on the director's notes and spotting.
How did that happen for you, Glenn? How did you get into that specific profession, going from being the musician that you are, having a passion for music, and then going into this world? How did that jump happen? How did that
happened? I was living in Orlando, and I was fortunate enough to hook up with a company called Sound Deluxe that had an East Coast and a West Coast component. The West Coast guys were doing all the movies. We were brought in to develop Universal Studios in Orlando, which is theme park heaven, which ended up morphing into SeaWorld and Disney. But doing those rides, you have to evoke emotions all the way through it.
You were the music director for
I was music supervisor for the company, so I got my hands on everything that came in the door, including movies.
At these theme parks.
Yeah, well, not just theme park. We did movies as well.
Where gotcha.
And advertising, and music videos, all sorts of things. It was just an amazing potpourri of heaven for audio guys, right?
Right.
We were working with video editors as well, so they would complete their task, and boom, we'd get the next reel to enhance, and then we would do sound effects as well. So the sound effects would usually go first. Sometimes we'd have to work together with the sound effects, because there's one frequency range that you have to portray in the audio spectrum. Well, you got to share that with sound effects. So everybody's got to dig a hole frequency-wise to make sure that everybody has a fit. And so that's also great for music, because you can let the bombastic stuff happen in the middle with explosions or whatever, and you can create your music around it. And what Crispin was saying, sometimes it's not necessarily the frenetic thing that you see on screen. You back off and do a slow motion music behind it, because that's what's left with the holes of to fill up that wall of sound. that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's so much fun to create that. The same thing with television shows. You see it every day when you watch TV or dramas. The music enhances it, doesn't get in the way. So that's really critical that it doesn't get in the way. But the thing about it is that you're always watching the emotion. You're always looking for the emotion on the screen. How are you going to do that and bring that out and enhance it? Sometimes an actor will have a slight turn of a muscle. Let's say he's kind of sad, and then all of a sudden he goes into a cry. Well, you got to work on that musically.